What's up everybody, my name is Harwin Francois, multi-six-figure real estate investor. In today's video, I'm going to be going over an assignment contract, specifically what to have on an assignment contract and where to find one. For those of you who don't know, an assignment contract is a legal document that allows you as the wholesaler to transfer your right to the end buyer, aka your cash buyer. To simply put it, instead of closing on the property yourself, you're essentially selling your rights to buy the property through an assignment contract. This is the second contract that you will need in order to wholesale that deal to a cash buyer. The first contract that you will need is a purchase agreement. This is usually referred to as an A to B agreement. If you haven't seen it yet, I made a full video breaking it down, what to include, how to fill it out, and where to get a copy. Check out the link in my bio to watch that video after. I'm on a journey to create financial freedom for people of all ages, backgrounds, and belief through real estate. Now, before we get into it, please make sure you go like, share, and subscribe to this video, as I got a lot more fire content and gems on the way. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. All right guys, this is the same exact assignment agreement that I've been using ever since I got started about 15, 16 months ago, that I still use in my business to this day. It has everything that I need in it, and it's just keep it calm, keep it simple. Don't want to, scare the buyer away. So just a simple 2-page assignment agreement is all you need. You guys, as the wholesaler, will always be the assigner whenever you're trying to assign a deal. So majority assignment contracts will have an assigner part and then an assignee. Assignee will be your buyer. On my assignment contract, I don't want nobody to get confused, so I just clearly write out buyer, as you guys can see right here. Okay, so I will put my company name on the assigner portion. I will leave the buyer portion blank. Usually it's gonna be under an LLC, could be under their name, but I don't wanna confuse that. I wanna give the buyer the chance to write out whatever he wants to, or what entity he wants it to be under. So leave your buyer portion blank. Assigner has entered into an agreement to purchase real estate with. You guys will get all this information from your purchase agreement, which is the A to B contract that you got locked up with your seller. So let's say I got an agreement locked up with my seller, whose name is Sally Mae. I will fill this out. Okay, so Sally Mae, let's say you got the deal locked up on September 1st, 2025. Always make sure you have the date, as you guys can see here. Assigner wants to assign the rights that he acquired under the contract to buyer for the following property. Put the same property address that you put on the A to B contract with your seller. Okay, and you guys will find the legal description. Let's say I'm doing a deal out in Tampa. Type the county, the city that you're doing the deal in. So Tampa, I know, is in Hillsborough County. I will type Hillsborough County property appraiser, and then I will type that address in, which will automatically give me the legal description. Okay, so this is pretty much self-explanatory. This is the property address that you're trying to assign the deal over to your buyer. Okay, let's move on. This is one of the most important parts. Earnest money deposit. Okay, let's talk about it. For earnest money deposit, I always advise anybody to make sure that you're trying to get anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000 earnest money deposit. Now, why? Because this shows that the buyer is serious. You don't want anybody just putting $100. What type of commitment does that show? For any deal that we're doing, we always require $5,000 earnest money deposit, and which it shouldn't really matter, because think about it. That earnest money deposit that your buyer deposits in escrow, it's gonna go towards the purchase price regardless. So that shouldn't matter. Always make sure you earnest money deposit. That shows if your buyer is serious or not. So let's say I put $5,000. I require my buyer to put $5,000 earnest money. Buyer must close the underlying transaction on or before. I usually give my buyer anywhere from 14 to 21 days. Obviously, the sooner the better. If they're a serious cash buyer, they shouldn't have a problem closing anywhere from like 14 days. 14 days is pretty standard, honestly. Now, if it's a bigger deal and they gotta go grab their hard money loans or gotta go grab different type of loans, I will give them longer. But this is a communication thing that you have to have with your buyer. Hey, how quick can you close this? And your buyer should let you know. Okay, you want to do good business all around. So good communication between you and the seller, good communication between you and the buyer. Guys, as the wholesaler, you guys are the glue. You guys are literally on both sides holding everybody's hand. You're holding the seller's hand on this side right here, and you're holding the buyer's hand on this side. So you want to have great communication throughout the whole process. That way it's gonna be a smoother closing for all parties involved, okay? So I usually give my buyers anywhere from 14 to 21 days. So let's say I got the first contract locked up with my seller on September 1st. I will probably give them till the end of September, let's say something like September 28th. Okay, moving on. Okay guys, super important, the price point. So when I first got started, I used to always mess this up. So I like to work backwards, which helps me out a lot. Okay, so let's say my buyer, I'm assigning the deal to my buyer for $100,000. I'd put $100,000 right there. Keep in mind guys, they've already deposited $5,000 earnest money, which we can put right here. So all you guys are going to do now is minus 100,000 minus 5,000. All the buyer owes at closing is 95,000. And this is a simple way. You always want to make sure you have this correct. That way, you know, the title company is not confused or anything like that. 6, this is something that's super important. You always want to make sure that your assignment contracts are non-refundable, okay? Meaning, if my buyer does not close on September 28th, the date that I put, that I get that $5,000, no problem. So that money is non-refundable. I still got time to go find another buyer as well. Number 9, something that's super important I always like to put on my assignment contracts. Buyer agrees not to contact the seller identified in the contract and to communicate solely with and through a signer. This means that the buyer cannot go talk to your seller. You are speaking directly with me. And a lot of times you don't want your buyers to be talking to the sellers because things could get messy. Seller may not know you're even trying to wholesale the deal, which it shouldn't really be any of their, any of their problems or anything like that. You're letting them know that you're gonna get the deal done for them, so they should not be communicating. So to limit any bad case scenarios, the buyer should be talking directly through you, the seller should be talking directly to you, okay? So super important to have that. Number 10, a signer may renegotiate the underlying purchase price at any time before closing. A signer is entitled to the entire difference between the contract purchase price and this assignment. All this is stating is I can always go back to the seller and renegotiate if I need to. Let's say I got it locked up for 90,000. I go back to the seller, I renegotiate that for 85,000. Number 12, this agreement is null and void if a deposit of $5,000 from the buyer is not received on or before. Guys, I always give my buyers 24 hours, 1 day. I always give my buyers 24 hours to deposit that earnest money deposit. If they do not deposit that earnest money, I know that they're not serious, and that way I can keep the search and find another buyer. So guys, it should not take it shouldn't take a buyer more than a couple hours really to deposit that money. I'm just being nice, so I give them a whole full day. But if they don't deposit that money within a day, I will keep searching for my buyer. So whatever day you got it locked up on, make sure you just give them 24 hours and that should be good enough. All due diligence must be done way before. So I don't want the buyer to, after he deposits his earnest money deposit, to come back and tell me, hey, I seen something happening, I need to come down on pricing. No, none of that. All inspections and due diligence should be done way before. Whenever I'm marketing that property out to cash buyers, it should be all done in that time frame. As soon as the earnest money deposit is in, that deal's locked in. If you back out, the buyer decides to back out, hey, listen, I walk away with $5,000, cool. I'll just go look for another buyer. For number 2, if it wasn't clear within the assignment contract, I let the buyer know again, upon expiration of the due diligence period, the earnest money deposit shall become non-refundable, except in event of seller defaults. On signatures, this is pretty much self-explanatory. You are the assigner, so I'm gonna put my name, and then I'm gonna put my company name, dates, times, and then leave this blank as your buyer will be the one who fills this out. So guys, that is a simple 2-page assignment agreement that I use. I've been using this for the last 15 months. It's been doing me justice ever since. And I will give you guys this same assignment contract for free in the description below.